Now recording. Okay.
Yes, welcome to our book date with you session. All right, and today we're going to have one wonderful book that we would love to recommend to you, which is The Choice. Oh, yes, this is the book, The Choice. And Gideon will be the one mainly sharing the book with you, and I definitely will be here right here as well. So, Gideon, pass to you.
So welcome everyone. Today I want to share this powerful book, and this book is by Edith Eger. So I want to give a little bit background of the author. To respect and honor her also. She's born in 1927. She's still alive. So she's a Jewish, but born in Hungarian. So now she's a psychologist practicing in United States. So she's a Holocaust survivor and a specialist in the treatment for post-traumatic stress disorder. So today we are going to share her first book, The Choice. So this book is published in 2017 at her age of 90. Okay, and her second book is actually The Gift. We will not share this time, but we'll share next time. The Gift, published in last year 2020 at the age of 93. So if you tell me age is a problem, you see how she published a book at the age of 93 for this book. So today mainly we want to share about this book anyway. This book I think is a must-have book for every human in the planet. So I must say this book divided to 4 parts. Okay. First part is about her prison time in Auschwitz. You wonder what is Auschwitz? This is Auschwitz. I mean, I read other book about Auschwitz, so this is Auschwitz. It's a death camp in Poland. Okay, during the Second World War. The second part of the book is about how she escaped from the death camp. And the third part is how she landed in United States, how she find her freedom in US. And the last part is actually about some of her case study, because she's a psychologist, so she have put some case study that will help a lot of us. So how I want to introduce the book today is by going through some of the sentence that she's written, because this book is written very beautifully. So I want to quote a lot of time from the book. So the first part of the book is talking about her time in Auschwitz. It's a very difficult part for me to read. I think most of you know, if you read about how people suffering in death camp, it's a very tough time for anyone to read. So I actually use a lot of time to read this part. So I will just give some example how hard the life is in death camp. She's among the 70 people, 70 people who is alive from the 15,000 people who go to this group. I mean, there are many groups. So not only saying that this is the only people in death camp, but in her group that she's within 70,000 people, only 15,000 people, only 70 alive. So one of the scene that made me remember a lot is about when she's in the camp. She's with the camp with her mother and her elder sister. She has a little sister, although, but her little sister is sent to another country at that time. So fortunately, her little sister escaped this time, and her father also in the camp. So she lost her father and mother in the camp. So how she lost her mother is, there's one time when they queue up, and then the officer is asking Edith whether the lady in front of her is her mother or her sister, because that time her mother looked very young. So the officer actually asked Edith, is this your mother or your sisters? And Edith at that time was very young. She don't know anything. I mean, she just being honest, and she said that she's her mother. Then the officer sent her mother to the right queue. To the left queue. Then she want to follow her mother. Of course, naturally, you're a daughter, you want to follow her mother, right? But the officer asked her to go to the right. So herself and her elder sister Magda actually go to the to the right queue, and her mother actually go to the left queue. Left queue actually is going to the gas chamber.
Oh dear.
She wouldn't know at that time. She wouldn't know at that time.
Mm.
The officer just say no, they are going for a bath. Actually, I think this a lot of the book about Auschwitz is the officer only tell the person in the left queue that they are going for a bath, taking a bath. So this become the regret of Edith for her whole life, that she choose this, she make this, and then cause her mother to lose her life, and she never saw her mother after that. So I think it's a gas chamber, and a lot of officers actually laugh at her and say that, you want to see her, you just look at the smoke, and then her father also disappeared. Actually, her father disappeared in the camp, so I think it lost her father also. So yeah, and the other thing is about how she survived is very dramatic, because at that time they have nothing to eat. A lot of people just die and just spread across the land, and a lot of people actually eat human flesh at that time. If you don't want to die, you need to eat something. So some people just eat human flesh, but Edith choose not to. She rather eat grass to survive. So at that time she's very weak. So even at that time, how she being rescued by the US Army is very dramatic, because they are all lying across the land, because they are very weak. They don't have energy. And what saved Magda, I mean her sister and herself, is because of one can of sardine. You know why this one can of sardine come into place? Because one day Magda actually get this can, don't know from where, and they are very hungry, right? But they have nothing to open the can. It's very ironic. You find something, you find a can, but you cannot open it. So her sister were actually hugging the can and just fainted there. So both of them actually just lie on the ground. And the army actually nearly missed them, rescue them, because the army actually don't know what is corpse, what is live body, But the son actually spotted on the can and have some reflections. So the army will see some reflection of light, and they go over the sun, the light, So they actually found that, oh, there's two young sister hugging on one can.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
actually the sardine can that having the
reflect, yeah,
reflection.
because it's aluminum can, right? So it have a reflection of sunlight. So this is only thing, because she's so weak until she have no energy to wave, to get help, because it's all body. The army actually don't know what is body, what corpse. They just so this can of sardine just ironically help them, save them out of the ostrich. So there's a lot of sentence inside the book that I quoted, like how hard the life is. There is always a worse hell. This is our reward of living. The reward of living there is just getting hell. So another quote: our clothes hardly cover our skin. Our skin hardly cover our bones. So you see, they are so skinny at that time. So even their skin cannot cover their bones. Okay. So, but there's some optimism that Edith tried to instill to us. There's one time Magda asked Edith, like, how do I look? At that time, all the prisoners are naked, all their hair are shaved off, and all of them actually look very terrible. So her sister asked her, how do I look? So if you try to be, negative or just you can tell the person you look horrible or something. But for Edith is you have a choice to pay attention to what we have lost, or to pay attention to what we still have. What Edith tell Magda is, you have a beautiful eyes. Your eyes still look very blue to me. So she chose to look at things that we still have, the eye, rather than talk to that person that you lost your hair, you look terrible, you're very skinny. So this is how it is say we have a choice to pay attention to what we have lost, or to pay attention to what we still have. So at this time, I think at this COVID pandemic time, I think we can just about thinking about this. You can pay attention to what you lost, or you pay attention to what you still have. Okay, I believe you can still find something, right? Of course, during the camp time, some negative things still come out. One of the things that I learned about the word is learned helplessness, learned helplessness. So this is when we feel we have no control of our circumstances, when we believe that we cannot do anything to alleviate our suffering or improve our life, we stop taking actions on our own behalf because we believe there's no point. So this is learned helplessness. I think this happen a lot of time now, where sometimes you think that we just cannot control, we cannot do anymore to improve our life. There's no point why we want to try to do anything. So this is some of the feeling that they have during that time. So yeah.
That's also the reason why we choose this book to share with you all right now, because we are in a COVID-19 pandemic right now, and I'm not sure about your country. My current country, together with Gideon, we are skyrocketed high positive cases for COVID-19, which is definitely a very distressed moment for every single one of us right here. And that's why we think that this is a great book to share with you at the moment. That I particularly love this sentence. I think, Eden, you will definitely talk about it, right? Each moment is a choice.
Yeah.
I am so into this sentence. Edith write this sentence saying that each moment is a choice. Sometimes you may feel like, yeah, you told me each moment is a choice, but I just feel like it's so overwhelmed and hard for me to make the choice. And I would really want to inspire you that we can train ourselves, to that each of the single moment more intentional every single time that we have the choice to make our choice about our emotion. Do you want to feel sad? Do you want to feel like you are victimized, or even you want to make yourself feel like angry, frustrated, or you want to feel calm, relaxed, or stay centered? So that's my take on that.
Yeah.
Didn't you want to add on?
Yeah, I think it is very real. I read something yesterday, like what you want to become will change how you see the world. So you must remember what you want to become first, and then how you see the world is just your own choice. You have the
Yes.
freedom. Yeah.
Mm.
So this is very related, and then the second part about how she escaped from the camp. Of course, Edith is not so positive that straight go to positive. A lot of people, when they escape from something very depressed, they are still very negative. So there's a lot of time in the book, Edith is talking about, you must ask yourself a different question. Instead of asking yourself, why did I live?
Mm.
You should ask, what is mine to do with the life I have been given? Okay. Instead of asking, why did I survive? You should ask, why not me? Why not me? Why I can do something else? Why not me? Or what next? Something like that. I quote from book again. We can choose what the horror teaches us. To become bitter in our grief and fear, hostile, paralyzed, or to hold on to the childlike part of us, the lively, the curious part, the part that is innocence. Okay, and I like this sentence a lot. There are always two worlds: the one that I choose, the freedom, the one I choose, or the one I deny, which insert itself without your permission. They just come to you. Okay. And the last part I want to share about, because Edith also talk about how you overcome your depression. Okay. I like the sentence a lot. Like, if you are trying to suppress your feeling, it only makes it harder to let them go. Okay. The expression is the opposite of depression. So expression is the opposite of depression.
That's why a lot of time, I love this sentence so much as well, Gideon. Expression is the opposite of depression. And I read through so many news and the community around us that suffer from depression. And I think this is a great, I would not say it's idea, I would say it's a great statement to help us through is when we have the depression, we choose the opposite will be expression, right? Because the more you suppress yourself inside it yourself, it does not help you to let go and move forward. So choosing the right way to express yourself is very, very important, right? The right path, like you surround yourself with a positive energy of people, a supportive community that really can help you to understand your situation better. Like this morning, my time here is 11:15. Since 8:30 a.m., I have a group of women that come together internationally from all parts of different world that come into and support each other in a way of we are talking about the topic what we can't talk about. It's very deep. We are talking about it, and we support each other with a very constructive idea, suggestions to make our life a better one. And we really listen, sit there and listen. So that's why I say the expression part for me this morning, I also cried because when I talk about certain topics, which I seldom talk about, so I feel like, oh, it's a very hard moment for me to talk about it as well. So get into the supportive community. We have a bunch of community like me. I'm having the wellness inner circle. Come into that, we support each other in the journey. So mentally, physically, support each other, and definitely towards your friends. If you have a group of friends, get them together. So rather than express yourself in the very numbing effect, for example, like you are continuously taking alcohol, tobacco, smoking, or going to vandalism or any things that hurt yourself, that does not serve you. Get into a positive way how to express yourself.
Yeah.
I think talking out, it's a very, very, very effective way. Yeah.
So the part of the book actually talking about how she find her freedom in US, and it's very heartening that the mentor actually that get her out from depression is actually Viktor Frankl. I think we share his book before.
Yes.
Man's Search for Meaning is another very powerful book. And Victor actually know her through some article that she written, and Victor actually give her some encouragement. So this is how she gone through all this hardness. And I think they become friends later parts, and they support each others. Another thing that very nicely written about is about quote the book. There's a difference between victimizations and victimhood. Okay, suffering, or we call it victimization, is universal, but victimhood is optional. Okay, we are all likely to be victimized in some way in the course of our life. At some point we will suffer some kind of afflictions or abuse, or caused by circumstances, or caused by other people or institutions, or which we have little or no control. This is life. Okay, we all know that this is life. Victimizations come from the outside. Victimhood come from the inside. No one can make you a victim but you. So we become victims not because what happened to us, but when we choose to hold on to our victimizations. So I think this is very written very nicely. You don't have to be a victim unless you choose to, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just more relatable to us right now is because of the COVID.
Yeah.
COVID is something like external that coming to us that we partly that we not much that we can do to make the whole thing better right now. And then what we can choose is internally how we want to stay more calmer and more stay centered. This is what I always say. Even though we are stressed out with so many things that we want to do, I say it's hard to admit that you are stressed out. I just have a conversation this morning with a group of women, and before we start click on start, I also chat with Gideon about stress. I am a stress management expert. I teach people how to manage stress. But the thing is, like, I also, me personally, I feel the stress as well recently. So one of the way what Edith is trying to tell us in this book is whatever we cannot control is external. We are victimized in certain of the way, but we can still choose internally how we want to respond, right? And how we want to feel.
Yeah, and I want to say about growth. Since the book mentioned a lot, so I quote the book very often. It is the crisis situation like what we're having now, COVID, that actually improve us human beings. If you think about it, parasitically, while this incident can sometimes ruin people, they usually growth experience.
Mm.
As a result of this, people can often make a major assessment of life and changes, and in a way that reflect deeper understanding of what you are capable of, your value, your goal. Um, it is that sometimes the worst moment in our life, the moment that set us spinning with our sometimes ugly desire that threaten us, that in fact the moment that bring us to understand our worth. So I think if you really think about it, this I think about a lot of people say this is the worst of our time now. A lot of people didn't go through COVID before, like, but if you really think back, this is the time that you really reassess your life. I don't know about you. For me, I think that this is the time that you really think back about your relationship, because you have to stay with people all the time, right? Locked down at home, and sometimes the people you cannot see also you are thinking about their relationship, because um, a lot of people just lost control, lost touch of control, connection. But you still appreciate the relationship, right? So sometimes you think about the lost connections, and you think about the financial, because you are very difficult to find life meaning of life, right? To get to support your families. So this is the time also you think about your financial, and then this is the time you think about your work. Like, is this the work that are still value that you want to do in even in this time? Because like you are thinking about, well, now life is so short and so fragile. You don't know what happened next. So this is the only time that I think we can all appreciate that you can think about yourself. Yeah.
One more thing to add on, Gideon. This is also a time for us to think back our health, our
Yeah.
well-being,
Yes. Help.
because COVID is really a challenging one. That the all types of different variant that the virus is mutated, and it comes to a point that our immune system is a very important, the ultimate one that to protect ourselves from the very serious of this COVID. So I really hope that today our session we inspire you, or and also in another way empower you with thinking more in depth on how that you can choose the every single moment to live your life. Even though I know we are locked down, my place here, we are locked down and you can't have the freedom as last time you have it, right? So, and ultimately, how you want to make yourself feel, it is yourself. No one can take away how you want to feel. So I hope that this empower you to live today in a more staying-centered way, rather than dwelling into the negativity or even the negative social media or any forwarded messages that you can definitely see every single morning that people forward to you. And I say, oh, this morning I see, oh, there's a chaos happening in somewhere. I say, okay, I'm not going to watch that first, no, but I'm going to start my day right. How I can take back the control, how I want to start my day in a very more conscious and centered and calmer way. Yes.
Yeah. I think we over time today again.
We always over time because so much stuff to talk about. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for staying here together with us, especially you are watching the replay or the live right now. And next 2 weeks, I will share one of my favorite book to you all.
We're looking forward for that. Yeah.
Yeah, this is such a favorite book that I want to share so much. Okay, we're going to see you all and have a very lovely day. And yeah, don't forget about letting me and Gideon know about what is your aha moment or what is the one takeaway from today's session.
Yeah.
All right,
And go
thanks.
get the book.
Yes.